Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, or perhaps good afternoon, or even good evening. One of the things that we're doing today is I'm going to show you how to track your peer editing when you do work with others in class when working with your wiki. So just like everything else that we've done before, realize that when you're in your portfolio, you have the helpful hints and tips area, where for this presentation you have the text overview that'll be available for you, as well as this YouTube video for you to refer back to should you need to. Now, one of the things I recommend anytime you're doing work with others or multiple pages, just simply create a tab so you have a place to easily jump around without having to go back and forward and back and forward. So as I've got right now, I've got one tab for our English 12 home area. I've created one tab where I have my fake portfolio page where we've got our assignments and the things I'm going to do. And with that in mind, what I want you to do is actually create for yourself a heading for peer editing. And every time you do peer editing for something, just put the name of the assignment and then who you're going to actually be marking or giving feedback for. Likewise, what you can do is, of course, we'll always specify who you're going to be giving feedback for. So whether it's the people who appear below you or above you in the portfolio area, it will also perhaps include your group. So with that in mind, you're actually going to be doing peer editing for the people in class and tracking it in your portfolio. So with that in mind, what I've done is, because I know who I'm going to be marking, I've already got Bruce Banner's page up here. And what I'm going to be doing is, when we do peer editing of someone else's work, we track it in 3 different ways. So first thing I'm going to do is that I make sure, if I'm doing this in class, that I let people know in my group or in the class that I'm going in to mark Bruce's stuff. So then I go up to the upper area where I can edit the page. And what I'm going to do is, once it loads, I now have the ability to make edits. Now there's 3 different things we're going to do. One, if there's something I've got that I like, so such as the first attention getter that's here, I might go through and I'm going to put it in green, ironically, to let Bruce know that that's something good, something that I like, and I think it's a really, really clear thing for him to be saying. Likewise, if there's something that I see that it's difficult, or that it's perhaps a problem that needs to be changed or cut or edited, I can put it in blue, and that's a key to say, hey, there's something wrong with this, or something I suggest you might want to change. For example, try to use more formal language instead of terms like whiny geek. And that just lets Bruce know specifically what the problem is. Now, if there's something that is grammatically wrong, or you've got a spelling mistake, or there is a mechanical error where punctuation has been done improperly, then I can highlight that, and that gets put in red. And the same thing is, at any point you can always do notes or questions in actual notes in brackets. I find is easy. Why is this here? Why aren't you finishing your work? Oops, work. Question mark. Close brackets. Now, once I've gone through this, and when we do peer editing, we only take a few minutes to do it. Once I've done the peer editing, what I'm going to do is I'm going to save and close it. And that will give Bruce the stuff that he can see. Now, other people are going to come along and they're going to be peer editing, so they're going to have even more that gets added to this. But what I need to do is I need to track the work that I've done, because the job you have to do as a student is show your teacher, me, what you've completed. So what we're going to do is not edit the page anymore, but we're going to go into where the page information is and the page history. And what this will do is it'll show all the changes that have been made to this page over time. And as we can see, there's been 8 changes to it, and there's all these different versions that started a year ago. But what you're going to do is, by actually creating a link to this page, you're going to show me all the changes that you've made, stuff that you've deleted, stuff that you've added. So all that you're going to do is you're going to go where we have this version 8, you're going to right click on it, and you're going to copy the shortcut. Now what that's going to allow you to do in your portfolio, I've now copied the location in memory of this version's history. Now in my portfolio, I'm going to go in and I'm going to actually update it so I have the right version. So I'm going to click Edit, and in my portfolio, down where I'm supposed to be editing Bruce, I'm going to highlight Bruce's name, and I'm going to go and I'm going to insert a link, and now I can paste in Control V, and that's going to give the exact version with all the changes that were made to that page. So I'm going to click OK, and now when I go back to my page and I save and close, now what I have available is a link to that one spot where I've made the changes to Bruce's work. And that allows me as your teacher to go in at any time and see what you've done for others. And then you move on to the next one, right? You'll go into the portfolio area, find the student whom you're marking, and then go in and do your marking process for that student, track it, save it, and away you go. And remember, when you are in the same room as your peers, to give them the heads up saying, hey, I'm going in and now I'm going to mark Steve's. Is anybody marking Steve's right now? Oh, a nice little typo there. The idea is if you're marking Steve's and somebody else is in the portfolio at the same time, we want to make sure that that person finishes before you go in. Otherwise, we have two drivers of the wiki and it doesn't work. So I'm going to now stop the recording. Again, as always, watch the video again, or you can look at the text overview.